Is Dmitry Bivol a good boxer?
I don't know. I mean, it's my feeling. I feel I have space to improve my boxing skills, like, you know, to be better. Like, it's main goal in professional boxing. Like, yes, I like to have fourth belt.
Beterbiev is generally known to be a man of few words. However, he shocked the world of boxing some days back when he issued a social media threat to the 23-0 World Boxing Association light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev is a knockout beast who has maintained an undefeated record, keeping a perfect knockout streak throughout his professional career. And when someone with such a devastating boxing power gives you a warning, you should be ready for an explosion. We hope Bivol really is, as Artur Beterbiev is set for a historic showdown next week against fellow light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol to kick off the Riyadh season. It will be the toughest test for his 20-fight knockout streak.
You've got 3 belts, there's 1 left. It's with Dmitry Bivol. Is that fight next? And if so, when?
Yes, I won this fight.
And also, Artur Beterbiev is unlike any boxer Dmitry Bivol has faced in the past, whether he likes to admit it or not. Compared to the finest opponents Bivol has faced in his 10-year career, this bout promises to be very different.
Man, can Beterbiev bring it? Look at this. Back and forth they go. Short right hand from the tip. And Kalajic is hurt.
Maintaining a 100% knockout streak at the elite level is no mean feat. But that's exactly what Beterbiev has been able to do in a decade-long professional career. 8 opponents have been dispatched in 3 rounds or less, and only 3 have managed to get out of round 9. Even thunderous heavyweight hitters like George Foreman and Mike Tyson were taking the distance before they contested a world title.
As he has been beaten down, and Beterbiev is so powerful, so strong.
At the lower weights, Japanese powerhouse Naoya Inoue went 10 rounds in back-to-back fights early in his career. However, Beterbiev's aggression, strength, punch variation, and ringcraft wear the opposition down like a virus. And despite being hittable himself, the champion has only been off his feet once in his career. For the most part, he's looked almost bulletproof.
We will get the chance, hopefully, to see one true king in the light heavyweight division. Why do you believe that it is you?
We will see.
The bout Beterbiev and Bivol will presumably crown boxing's first undisputed light heavyweight champion of the 4-belt era, as both men currently hold multiple titles in the division. Also, one man will presumably suffer his first loss, International Boxing Federation and World Boxing Organization titles, while Bivol holds the World Boxing Association title.
Couple years, couple years, you know.
Do you believe he wants this fight?
But he says always, like last 4 years, he always says next fight he will do with me.
Boxing fans and professionals have predicted the winner of the fight as a future Hall of Famer. Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev carried no iota of their shared nationality when they met in a press conference ahead of their coming fight in October. As expected, there were little words thrown around between the fighters. The atmosphere was mostly silent and intense as the pair muttered a few sentences and promised to do their talking in the ring. The exchange of words between the pair was straight and direct. "I talk with my fights. That's where we do business," Artur Beterbiev said. And when it was time for Bivol's retort, Dmitry Bivol responded, "I've got nothing to say to him. He knows what he's ready for. I know it too. It's gonna be bloody." But for Dmitry Bivol's promoter, Eddie Hearn, and Beterbiev's promoter as well, the press conference would have lacked much activity. But guess what?
All of belts.
When you look across, down the table, at Artur Beterbiev, 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts, do you see the most dangerous challenge of your career?
It's exactly what the fans want to see. When it was time for their face-off, the 2 fighters walked boldly to the stage and stared down at each other. Their stare down carried with it 2 undefeated records, an undisputed world title at hand, a nation of dominance, and 2 fighters with the needed skill, IQ, and boxing experience.
These thoughts helped me to be in focus, to be serious in my training camp. And
Dmitry Bivol is the more active fighter, and it's clear he's hardly taken a break since facing Artur Beterbiev. He's well ready for the fight and can't wait for his next big opportunity after Canelo Alvarez. His win over Canelo announced him to the world, but this will even cement his name in the history books forever. It can only get more intense from here.
On his fights, he's powerful, and it makes me more excited to fight against this guy because I love challenges.
As if a 20-0 start with 20 knockouts and 3 light heavyweight belts isn't enough of a feat, Artur Beterbiev in the last presser apparently set out to record a world record for fewest words spoken at a press conference by a major boxing headliner. The beautiful part of the news conference in London to formally introduce the participants in the supposed battle in Saudi Arabia for the undisputed 175-pound title was that Beterbiev actually struck the defining chord of the event. Words are not needed.
Do you have a message for Dmitry Bivol now that he's here?
He know already.
Dmitry?
The 39-year-old Beterbiev stood as the most devastating and diabolical combatant in the sport's heavier weights, relying on a nasty disposition and bullying spirit to systematically break down his foes. With former world champions Callum Smith, Joe Smith Jr., and Alexander Gvozdyk claimed in the wreckage. That said, Beterbiev now encounters a Russian countryman who may embody his kryptonite. World Boxing Association champion Dmitry Bivol is the 2022 Boxing Writers Association of America Fighter of the Year, a crown secured via a convincing victory that stripped the title of pound-for-pound king from Mexico's Canelo Alvarez.
Biev says that you know already. What is it that you know?
I don't know already.
Boxing is more about class, IQ, style, and skills. Bivol manager Vadim Kornilov said in defending his fighter's pedigree on stage. Bivol's sophisticated style belies his own strength, and frankly, if Alvarez were any other light heavyweight, he might well have been dropped by the sustained barrage of blows that Bivol planted upon him in that May 2022 bout. Although the official scorecards on the night read 115, 113 in the Russians' favor, few thought the contest was that close, and many assumed the cards were warped by the preconceived notion of who was supposed to win the Cinco de Mayo weekend bout in Las Vegas. The press conference MC described Bivol Beterbiev as a match pitting the best pure boxer in the world versus the most destructive puncher in the world. And Bivol promoter Eddie Hearn argued that what his fighter brings to the fight makes it one of the purest matches in the sport, the best fight in boxing.
As Vadim says, his boxing IQ is on another level, and it needs to be against, as Todd said, one of the most dangerous men in the sport of boxing.
Hyperbole on a news conference stage is often an exercise in eye-rolling, but this one feels authentic. Beyond the consequences of who can stand as undisputed champion is the matter of who awaits. Canelo, David Benavidez, a rematch, but what matters most is who will win and how. Beterbiev's promoter, top-ranked president Todd Duboeuf, kept his point simple regarding why his guy will win. "I've been a fan of destruction, and this guy's all about destruction," Duboeuf said. "My friends call me during his fights and ask, who is this monster? Look at his body of work. Nobody lasts 12 rounds with him." Despite the importance of Monday's event to selling global pay-per-view buys, the bout will be streamed in the US by ESPN pay-per-view. Beterbiev kept his talking to a minimum. When asked what he thought about seeing Bivol sitting to his left on the stage with the WBA belt placed in front of him, Beterbiev said, "I see another belt. I'm collecting all the belts and I need one more." As for the matter of why it took so long for the former Russian amateurs to meet, Beterbiev elicited a sly grin and said, "Ask him," motioning to Bivol. Bivol responded that it seemed to him that Beterbiev only wanted to work on fights promoted by Top Rank.
As this fight is, don't be amazed to see him make this look easy on June the 1st. I think it's going to be a very, very tough fight. He has all the ability.
Both fighters thanked Saudi Arabia's His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for financially backing the effort to make the bout after several failures in the past to make it happen. There was no person who could make the fight, and now we have His Excellency, who loves boxing and made it happen, Bivol said. Asked if he has a message to deliver Bivol before the bout, Beterbiev again remained elusive. "He knows already," Beterbiev said. That aroused commentators on the news conference stream to wonder if Beterbiev had ever gotten the better of Bivol when they worked together for Russia as senior and junior amateurs. Had Beterbiev once beat up or knocked down Bivol in those sessions? The commentators wondered. Kornilov told Boxing Scene afterward the pair only participated in training, working together. If Beterbiev is banking on that prior version of Bivol being the same man at that he'll now meet as a 33-year-old professional, he's made a serious miscalculation. Dmitry's boxing is on a different level, and it needs to be against this wrecking machine, Hearn said. But Bivol hasn't been given the credit he deserves. That he beat Canelo with consummate ease. He has all the ability to stand this man on his head, footwork, ring IQ, composure. We have someone who's very special.
Whilst he's doing it, he's going to be very, very dangerous. And I believe on June the 1st, Dmitry Bivol will be the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
Hearn said Kornilov has been telling him for 6 years that we need Beterbiev. Assessing the winner will be the champion of the sport. Bivol said in devoting his life to the sport since age 5, my goal was to be the undisputed champion. Canelo was my ticket to the big fights. Asked about the grave threat of Beterbiev, Bivol said, every time I train, I think my opponent is the most dangerous opponent I've ever met in the ring. Of course he's dangerous, look at his record. But I love challenges, I love to be tested, and this is a huge challenge. I believe in my skills, my experience, my mentality, and in my preparation in camp, I will be undisputed. Afterward, Hearn gave voice to the impression Beterbiev left by minimizing his words and treating his younger countryman as an apprentice not capable of defeating the master. I think Beterbiev arrogant, Hearn said. We're here to talk about the fight. Not doing so, perhaps, was Beterbiev's message that he's used to having things play out his way. But at age 39, against the Peking champion who wants to declare it's his time now, is Beterbiev about to become the latest self-anointed king to find out Bivol wants his crown too? I told Dmitry at the face-off, take him to school, Hearn said. Bivol's special. It's going to be a hard fight. It should be when you're fighting for the undisputed championship. But Dmitry does his talking in the ring. He's extra special. The Russian light heavyweight champions were respectful, although you could say on October 6, 2018, during his fight against Callum Johnson, Beterbiev was knocked down in the second round by a perfectly timed left hook. Although his knees didn't buckle, he quickly returned to his feet. Beterbiev stormed back in the fourth round, dropping Johnson with a powerful right hand, leading the referee to wave off the contest. Beterbiev also experienced a knockdown on December 19, 2014, in his bout against Jeff Page Jr. In the first round, Beterbiev was sent to the canvas in what appeared to be an awkward exchange. The referee ruled it a slip at the time, but Beterbiev quickly rebounded, knocking out Page Jr. in the next round to secure the victory. Some fans consider this a knockdown. Dmitry Bivol, on the other hand, is not known for his knockout power, but remains one of the most skilled and defensive wizards of contemporary boxing. Bivol's last fight, held in Saudi Arabia, saw him stop Malik Zinad via a 6th-round knockout. It was his first win inside the distance since 2018. Although Bivol typically outpoints his opponents, his ability to finish the fight should not be entirely underestimated. Many boxing fans expect Bivol to emerge victorious, believing he's got the youth and skills to beat the 39-year-old Beterbiev. WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol said that he watched unified light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev's last bout against Callum Smith on January 13th, taking note of his power and high skill level he was fighting with ahead of their undisputed 175-pound championship clash.
Есть такие качества, да, хорошие, как сила, да, то есть у него есть выносливость.
Every fight that I have, I see it as the most difficult challenge for me. It was a good performance. He showed that he still has the power, pressure, and confidence, said Bivol in media reports. The 33-year-old Bivol has been eyeing the undisputed championship status in the weight class, and now the moment has finally presented itself. He has to prove that he can do it against the International Boxing Federation, World Boxing Council, World Boxing Organization champion, or lose and become his 21st knockout victim. Bivol may possess the technical capability to win, but it will be hard to avoid the firefights that Beterbiev will force on him for the 12 rounds. Beterbiev had to pull out of the initial June bout due to a torn meniscus, is now preparing for his first multi-fight calendar year since 2021. His most recent appearance was in January, where he overwhelmed Callum Smith, forcing him into submission in front of a supportive Quebecois crowd.
Исходя из этих данных, я предполагаю, что он будет еще лучше.
За счет чего ты собираешься справиться с этим давлением?
За счет чего? За счет подвижности, за счет умения. В этом и есть азарт такого боя, на самом деле, когда соперник создает такие сложности.
We'll see in the ring what I'm going to do, but I believe I can win. It doesn't matter what he mentioned. Now I'm busy. We had time before more than a year to make a rematch, but now I'm busy. If he really wants, he needs to talk to Eddie Hearn, added Bivol about a possible rematch against Canelo Alvarez. If he keeps the titles, there's a high chance Bivol will cross paths with Benavidez at some point. Benavidez is the WBC's required interim leader. If he beats Beterbiev, he will take up Bivol's responsibilities. Many experts have had their say ahead of the bout, including Bradley, who, when the fight was first rumored nearly a year ago, explained to Themistode that Bivol had the clear edge. Bivol is a very tough matchup. Having that strong foundation amateur pedigree, and also having an educated jab and in-and-out footwork, that can keep Beterbiev off balance. Who would I favor? Right out the gate, I would favor the boxer.
And then again, now the jab doesn't come, but then you shoot, and then you fall short with your offense because the guy steps back out of range, you know? And then you try to then you try to attack or try to make up for that loss of space, and then you throw it at your hands go, and that dude counters you. Bing, bing, bing. Get out of here. Then he walks away from you and do it all over again. Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's tough to deal with, dog. So if they fight, I'm going to Bivol. I could be wrong because Beterbiev has that one-punch knockout type of power, but I'm a favorite boxer.
Bradley has since altered his view, though, and after witnessing Beterbiev's stoppage victory over Callum Smith last time out, he told Boxing News that it is now a 50-50 bout. Tough fight. I'm going to say 50. I've always favored Bivol, but he'll have to fight a perfect fight to keep Beterbiev off of him. Bradley also revealed just why he feels it's much closer than he first thought. He's a real champion. He's disciplined and devoted to his religion. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he takes care of himself. When you preserve your body like that, you can last long in the sport. While Bradley may now be on the fence over who comes out on top between Bivol and Beterbiev, others like former heavyweight champion Hasim Rahman believe the man with a 100% knockout ratio is unbeatable. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.